Hi, ladies and gentlemen. So, as an enterprise business leader of YAS, one fun part of my job is an opportunity that I get to sit down for meetings with a lot of leaders from government and from enterprises, being large, small, medium, all of them to discuss so many things. Some of the things we discuss are particularly how YAS, as a company and a partner and ally to their company, can sit down and work together and be partners, co-create and take some of their operations forward and digitally. But the bigger part of these conversations are actually something that you, as a business leader, as an SME and a startup, can learn a lot from their personal and professional stories, but most important, from their experience and knowledge. But you know I can record these meetings, right? So yes, I sat down with our marketing team and we agreed that we'll do something for you. We'll be having the YAS Generation Talk, the Generation YAS Talk, but the corporate edition, where I'll be calling these people, sit down with them, talk to them, and have so many things that you guys can learn from. That would be good, right? So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Generation YAS Talk, the corporate edition. Hi guys, again welcome to our Generational YAS Talk. As I promised you, me and my team will try our best to have someone in this seat, very influential, inspirational, someone that you can learn a lot from their personal and their professional story. My guest today is nothing less of that. This is a person who I call a strategist. He is a visionary, someone who has worked through for the last 10 years with one institution across all the management levels. And this is an institution that we all know about. It's Empower Limited, a company that is doing business consulting services. So this is a person who has not only led people, but also helped other companies to also grow, improve their strategies and also lead people. He is a board member for different companies. We'll talk about that. He's a founder and a co-founder of different institutions. We'll also touch base about that. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hand together for Mr. Joshua Lyman. Joshua, welcome.
Well, thank you very much, Norman.
Justice.
I've not had an introduction like that before, so thank you very much.
I'm glad. Thank you so much for taking your time. I know you have a very busy schedule. For the last 2 months, ladies and gentlemen, Joshua has also been promoted, I'd say, with a lot more of responsibilities now as managing partner of Empower Limited. So thank you for taking your time out of a very busy schedule to accommodate us today. So we have a community out here that we are calling YAS Generation or Generation YAS. Okay. And they would like to talk to you today. So okay. Anything that these people can learn from you, from your story, personal, professional. So where better to start than you tell us a little bit about yourself and your personal story.
Thank you, Norman. I think first, thank you for introducing me to Generation YAS. Yes. Sounds very cool, and I'm sure you've got a very strong community out there. So it's an honor to be here, and thank you.
You're welcome.
You said tell a little bit about myself. So I've only ever worked at Empower, actually. So I'll start there. But I'll go back a bit. I grew up in Tanzania with one parent as a teacher and one parent as an entrepreneur. Okay. So I think entrepreneurship started then. I can remember when I was 14, I used to go to my father's business, and I thought I knew how to run things, so I would go and tell him, you're doing this wrong and this, and he would just be like, He never listened to me. But I had already started trying to do entrepreneurship then. So from there, actually Empower was founded by my sister. So she had started Empower. I was at university or high school, going to university. So I went to university in Amsterdam and I did 1-2 years. But whilst I was in Amsterdam, every time I'd come back to Tanzania, I would do internship at Empower, and I would come work in the summer. I wanted to earn a bit of cash for the summer holidays. And then I was always talking to my sister about how it's going, and it sounded like it's going good. So one summer, actually, after 2 years of university, I made the decision I'm coming back. And something changed in my mindset. I went, okay, I'm here at university, spending, and I could be earning to the family and for myself. So that summer I didn't tell anyone I came back, and I just quit university, no degree.
Interesting.
Very interesting. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
So yeah, I quit university. Of course, difficult to tell your parents that, hey, I'm not going back. So they were very understanding actually. They were like, sure, but you're paying rent. You're not staying in a house for free. So already the pressure was on as soon as I got back. So I called Miranda, my sister, and I was like, I'm joining. I need some cash to pay rent. So it started that way. And that's sort of the story. So I joined as an intern and have pretty much worked in every level across all departments in the organization. We were working so well together, and then we invited our other sister to join in as well. So she joined, Ella joined, and then we were 3. So it became a family business, although it probably started not as a family business. So I was lucky in that sense to get such an opportunity. And yeah, I joined, and yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah. No, that's very good. So I think one thing that really catches my mind is how you managed to, say, now I'll stop school, I'll go back and work. What really triggered that?
Yeah, interesting. I can't pinpoint exactly what triggered it, but something just clicked. Like, I'm wasting time. I could be earning. So I just changed my mindset, like, instantly. And even if you ask my friends, they're so shocked. Like, we didn't think you would just flip so quick. And it took them maybe 5-6 more years. They were young, but already for me from 22, I was already in the office. Or 21, I think, already in the office, 6 a.m. I worked really hard at the beginning. I would come in at 6 a.m. I would leave at 10 p.m., 11 p.m.
Wow.
I was just...
And this is pretty much your sister's business at that time.
It was a business, yeah. Of course, she was coming in at 10 a.m., but it was fine. I felt like I had to prove myself. I had to do something. I had to have an impact. I didn't want to be that guy who was just given a position in their family business and didn't actually deliver. So I felt the pressure, like, okay, I've got to have an impact, and that's where it came from, yeah.
Good. So more than 10 years now at Empower. One thing that I know about Empower is your ability to give chances to young people. I know it's not about you. I know a lot of young people who are just graduated and they got a chance to work at your company. So what does that come about for you guys in the young generation?
Yeah. Firstly, for Empower, it's always been one of our core passions. It's been part of our DNA since the beginning that we want. Actually, our initial slogan of the company was "Train the Nation."
Okay.
That was where we initially started. We've had other slogans and things, but we've always had that in mind. Like, we want to do something more than just business. So we see ourselves as a social enterprise, which I think in this modern age, for young people who want to be entrepreneurs, social enterprise is sort of the way things are moving, and it means you're having a positive impact on the social element in your community. It's not just a profit-only mindset. It's a profit and give back mindset. Can you grow others? Can you improve others? Can you bring them along? Can you give opportunities to individuals? Of course, by nature of our business, initially we were just doing recruitment and training, so we had a lot of access to know what jobs are available, what skills are needed. Of course, now we've transformed the way we're doing business, but still, as part of our business, we are always engaging young people through our program Generation Empower. Of course, Yas has been a partner to us on that program, so we've interacted heavily with the organization throughout those years in giving back, helping young students, and it's growing and growing.
Okay, so Empower is empowering, basically.
Empower is empowering. The name says it all. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so just one thing that I was reading a few days ago is actually the average age of Africa is 19 years. The average age of Tanzania is 17 years.
Yes.
So this country and this continent is a Gen Z.
Yes.
Now, there are a lot of business owners and a lot of, I would say, leaders of different companies who are watching us right now.
Yeah.
I'd like to understand, how is it important to have, whether a product or a strategy around youth?
Yeah.
Considering that the country and the continent is mainly a Gen Z, if I can say so.
First off, I love Gen Z. Let me just state it out there, because I know there's always millennials, Gen Z. I am a millennial, but somewhere in my heart, I feel Gen Z. At our office, actually, we are probably 80 to 90% Gen Z in the office. So the whole organization almost is a Gen Z organization. And Gen Z has so much potential. So for me, when you gave me that statistic, you said what, 19
Africa,
average
yes.
age, Tanzania 17.
Yes.
Opportunity.
Yeah.
For me, there's so much opportunity there. If you've got an average age of 17, and I think you can do your research and look at what average age is in countries in Europe or Asia, and you will realize why right now there's so much potential. So if you've got an average age, let's do the numbers here. Let's look. Tanzania has 65 million people.
Yeah.
So if I believe the statistic is something like 70% are below the age of 25 in Tanzania.
Correct.
So 70% of 65 million, we're talking about roughly, forgive my math, 45 million people below. So over the next 25 years, we anticipate that those 25 million people to have children.
Yeah.
So from that 40 million people, if they're getting couples, so 20 million couples and maybe 2 or 3 kids each. So 20 million couples, 2 or 3 kids each, that's another 60 million.
Correct.
If they have 3 kids each, plus the existing 60 million. That would mean in the next 25 years, doubling our population. Yeah, that's opportunity. Because
Okay, good. So, speaking about that, I think maybe one thing that people will be, like business owners will be struggling about is how now do we balance? Because, you know, young people, maybe they cannot pay today. But we know these are our customers of the future, our, I would say, employees of the future. So how do we balance that between now and accommodating them as a business owners?
Business is always about investment.
Correct.
Everyone says investment, and unfortunately, I think there's a thing around investment. We think investment is just kuchukua hela na kuweka mtaji. But investment can be so much more than that. Investment can just be time, energy. So everyone can afford to invest. Just depends how you look at it. You know, if investment is from a space of time and energy, you can already start investing in your future customer just through energy, time, the way you engage your customers, knowing that they will become future customers as well. So I get what you're saying there with the balance, but you've got to look at the future. You've got to plan ahead. Successful companies think 10, 25 years ahead. That's how they're making their plans and strategic investments. So we should be thinking the same. Maybe where SMEs 25 years is a bit much, but we should be thinking in 5 years, what will the market be like? In 10 years, if we've got that long-term vision. So I think definitely serve your customers today. Don't forget them, because that's also a mistake. You must serve your customer today, but you should set your company up and be in preparation for your customers tomorrow.
In the future. Very good. So I think what I've learned is, you know, we need to invest, and the investment is basically anything. I think we have a company now that we call Anzia Ulipo. It's basically start, you know, wherever you are. As small as it is, as big as it is, just start. And then we can see how that will go. So I love youth. I think you said you love Gen Z, and maybe we can talk about that for the rest of this podcast. But I want to take you a little bit back. So 2 months ago, you were named the managing partner of Empower. How did that come about? Where were you when you received that phone call, if it was a phone call? And how did that basically happen?
I didn't receive a phone call. I was in a meeting. I was part of the decision and discussion.
Interesting.
Luckily, so I was in the discussion. I think I've always put my lifestyle behind the organization from 10 years ago. Anyone who's around me knows that it's a part of who I am. It's not a job. It's not a place I went to work. It's always been a part of who I am. I spend my spare time pushing the organization. I enjoy it. It's not work. I think about it all the time. So I think I've had a lot of impact in the org. I've created different systems. If you see our recruitment platform, I actually designed that and custom built the entire software. So I've built systems, I've closed deals, I've done the commercial side, I've done operations, I've overseen the finance and shared service. So I have a very 360 understanding, a bit of a generalist. So I think the time came for us to push out, and it was a strategy, like if we're gonna grow, we've always had this mindset that you need to position your organization for where you want to be.
Correct.
So we always design it and run it with that in mind. So knowing that we want to go Pan-African, knowing that we want to go for much larger, longer-term projects, which is what we're doing now. Want to work with fewer clients, but larger projects. That's why we've set up a board, and we've pushed ourselves out and running ourselves very much like a corporate company, even though we are still an SME. And I think this is a strategy. A lot of, touching on Anza Ulipo.
Yeah.
Wherever you are, pale popote ulipo, if you start to run your company at the next level, then the next level comes. But when you run your company at level 1 and you're expecting to close a deal of level 2, level 3, or whatever level you're at, it doesn't come that way. You first have to be a level 3 operating company, then level 3 deals come. That goes back to what I was saying on investment. You've got to invest your energy, sometimes income, money, research, whatever it is, to put yourself at level 3, and then, so in the same way, it made sense that we're pushing out.
Okay, so what I'm learning is, even if you're a small organization, if you look at yourself for the next few years as a market leader in whatever the industry you are, you have to start operating as a market leader. You have to start investing, hire and do everything around that as a market leader. That's very interesting. I also know that Empower is going out of Tanzania, trying to serve also East Africa and Africa. What about that?
Yeah, so as part of what we're doing, we have already set up entities in Uganda and Kenya, which are both operational. But we're seeing a lot more pull from Kenya market actually. And typically consulting Tanzania is not known for consulting. Let's be open, let's be honest. We have our skills, we have things that we're known for. I'm not sure consulting is one of the global places people say go to Tanzania. So we're really trying to push that. And Kenya is known for consulting actually. So really for Tanzanian firm to enter Kenya, we were always apprehensive of this, but we've made the right decision. We realized that it's very much possible. We've got our own unique talent. There's a value we can add there, and it's feeling good to see that we can go to another market where our brand is not as strong, of course, and we can still enter and still close projects, and companies are willing to engage us. It means they're seeing our quality in how we're presenting. So Africa is very interesting, very, very interesting market. Kenya is so different. If I'll just talk about the two a little bit, if you don't mind. Kenya is a much, I don't want to say smaller, it's a much bigger economy and a lot more opportunity. But if you're going to Nairobi, or even if you look geographically at Kenya, actually if you realize Kenya has only really fully developed the bottom half of the country. So you have like Mombasa, Nairobi, Eldoret, Nanyuki, Kisumu. Those are they only have 5 cities in the whole of Kenya that are recognized cities. In comparison, in Tanzania, we have, I think, 28 recognized cities, or somewhere around 30 recognized cities. So actually, this is a strategy. So Kenya has put everything in 4 or 5 locations. The investment is all there, all the activity is there, and that's why the economy is booming in those places, and there's so much more opportunity there. So there's just a difference. You can actually enter into a Kenyan market, and you will find that finding opportunities is easier than if you are going from a Kenyan market actually moving into Tanzania, because of the spread. Tanzania, we have big cities all over, north, south, east, west, central. So I'm just learning those type of dynamics and how they impact a market and how you can enter a market actually, so it's very interesting, East Africa, so much potential everywhere.
Interesting. So I think you've mentioned yourself that Empower is not just a place for work for you. It's basically within you and your lifestyle. So I also can separate you and Empower. And forgive me, I'll be juggling around questions about Empower and questions about yourself. So I was thinking when you were explaining about your journey and how you worked for the last 10 years, going different, looking at different sub departments, to now being a managed partner of Empower. So I'm sure we have a lot of viewers now who are employees of different corporates, and they look forward growing to their corporate ladders. What I tell a lot of people is the most important job is what you have today, not what you will get tomorrow. You need to use a lot more of what you're doing today to get what you will you desire as your next step.
Yeah.
And what are the things that one can use, to position themselves better for the next opportunity?
For the next opportunity. I'm going to go back to what the same advice I'd given for companies about the levels and
Yes.
putting yourself here. So let's take that and apply it to an employment opportunity. Let's say you're head of department, you're trying to become or you want to become a director of that unit as well, and one day to become maybe the CEO of that organization. So it's about doing the role first. There's sometimes a mindset, you talk to individuals and I tell you, oh, I'm not being paid to do that. So when they pay me, then I'll do it.
Yeah.
This mindset is again, it's the opposite. It's that sort of way, like when I close a level 3 deal, then I'll become level 3. But it's the other way around. You deliver first, and then you have something on the table. It's your asset. I can deliver at this level. You're now in a position to go to a company and either negotiate that role, or when the opportunity comes, it's easy for them to say, here, you take this. But you also have a similar story because you've recently grown, so congratulations on that as well.
Thank you.
I'm flipping the question on you if I can.
Sure.
Maybe you can give some advice on that as well, because you've done it.
Yeah. So also exactly as how I put it when I asked the question. I think for me, as you have put it, the most important thing is the job that you have today. Because I think we meet a lot of people who are not very much settled to what they're doing now, and they like a lot more thinking of what is coming next.
Yeah.
And I think for me that's the first mistake. You have to perfect a lot more what you're doing now, and that way or at that point you'll be able to do a bit more and show yourself a bit more. But if what you're doing today is not something that you can do as fast enough or quick enough for you to try to do another thing on top of that, that will always be a challenge, because you lead an organization, and we work in some big organization, and we know that you only get it when you deliver.
Yeah.
So I think you need to be able to deliver first on whatever you have, and show what you can do with what you have been trusted with, and probably show what you can do more on top of that, and the growth will come.
Yeah. Performance
Correct.
is key. We're in a performance economy.
Yes.
Everything is about performance. I guess that's what capitalism is.
Yeah.
It's performance first. So you have to perform, deliver, and show you can do
a bit more.
Do the next thing. Yeah.
So I think you've touched something very, very interesting there, performance. Now you lead the whole organization with like how many people now?
So Empower is now 40,
Yeah.
and we have our sister company called Growth Mindset actually. So that one's actually large in headcount, is around 300 staff there, and working on different projects.
Yeah, so that's around 340 people now.
Yeah.
How as a leader do you build a high performing team?
Yeah, let me just state up front, I don't have the full answers. Performance, it's one of the hardest things I think anyone who's managing a team or a unit or function will tell you, like how do you, because it's everything, it's the people skills, it's the technical skills. But I truly believe in systems and processes, and I like to create systems that drive performance. Right. Whether that is, ensuring people are tracking the right metrics, ensuring people have frameworks that guide their thought process. It's a very, especially in consulting, how do you scale consulting? Like how do you make a group of people all consult in the same way? Where everyone has different backgrounds and experience and learning, but we all consult the same way. So we've had to build frameworks that guide how you break down something. When you receive a client project, exactly how do you break it down? What paths can you take? How do you systemize that? And that builds performance. When people are clear about what they need to do, they can do it. Most times underperformance comes from lack of clarity. And then you get leaders and managers who get frustrated about that. So they're not giving you clarity, but they're getting frustrated that you're not delivering. Give clarity as a leader, focus as much, and giving clarity can be operational, giving someone a very system. This is how you do it, step 1 to 10.
Correct.
But also it's giving clarity. This is, coaching someone, this is how you communicate, this is how you talk, next time do X, Y, Z. I think with that, you can get some level of performance.
How does that have anything to do with leading yourself first?
Yeah, of course, you've got to lead yourself, number one. That's one of the most key elements, because you've got to walk the walk. I really believe that. I know it's a common statement, but would never put my team in a position where I'm asking them to do things that I'm not willing to do.
Yeah.
If I'm asking the team to come in Saturday, I'll come in on Saturday. If I'm asking the team that we're doing a late night, I'll do it as well. So I really believe in that. So I know, you know, often my team tell me like, why are you coming in at 8:30? You could come in at 10, and I'm like, no, not at all. If I come in at 10, that's I'm expecting you to come in at 8:30, but I'm coming in at 10. Not possible. So self-leadership is that. You've got to do it. I really believe, and I think when you're managing performance and managing tasks, it's extra hard when you've never done those things. I've seen it so many times. Someone has never done certain let me call it field work or operational work, but they want to manage it. It's very difficult because they don't have the EQ or the emotional understanding or empathy to understand what their more junior people are doing. But when you've grown, like yourself, you've been in junior roles, you've grown into management, you've grown to a head of department, now chief, you understand the full spectrum of tasks. So I'm sure it comes out in how you.
Okay, so guys, one lesson of leadership that we are learning today: don't ever ask your team or your people to do something that you yourself cannot do.
Or not willing to do.
Not willing to do.
Yeah.
So as we continue to deep dive to empower and the journey, so that a lot of people there can learn from that. I think we've spoken about how Empower being an SME, it is, but still operating like a large and multinational company. And you going across East Africa. I'm trying to understand what role does partnerships play to that. Because I know not so many things that you could do yourselves. A lot of other things you have to do with partners. We've spoken about Generation Empower and how so the part of it. How partnership shaped where Empower is, and maybe something that a lot of business owners can learn right now.
Yeah, thanks. Partnership is key, especially if you're very observant in the market. You'll see almost every day a new partnership is got a press release here. So partnership is everywhere, and it's key. I think what's important is, let's look at what is a good partnership first. One error I think a lot of people can make is that they want to forge a partnership based on friendship or relationship. Oh, I know someone in that organization, so we must do a partnership with that organization. I think the best partnerships come probably from organizations that don't have any personal, but complement each other based on, let me say, assets they have, intangible assets. You might have a certain network and you might have a certain product. Now, a partnership is bringing those things together based on a joint win-win. But there's some things you need to understand about a partnership. You have to give. Unfortunately, a lot of people think a partnership is I'm receiving in this partnership, and they forget about the fact that a partnership is both parties must give something to the other party. It cannot just be you are giving me something, but I have nothing to offer back. So partnerships are key, but those are just the elementary part of it. We've always also run partnerships very much based on values. So it's always sat at the center. Like, do we both have a common mission or a common value that we both want to achieve? Because then we can find a way to achieve it together and put our resources together. So we have a number of key partnerships. Generation Empower is one, where it's quite a dual partnership. We have partnership with 4 universities, UDOM, UDSM, SAUT, and RZ University. And then at the same time, we bring corporate partners such as YAS and other organizations to come partner as well. So we're like actually convening a whole partnership between private and academic circles. But then through that, UDSM and ourselves have developed our partnership further. We're now doing public courses together. So we've started a program called Visionary Leaders Program, which is very interesting and is due to the joint objective of teaching 21st century skills in the market. I'll talk one more partnership we have now, which is very unique. We've actually started forming a partnership with a company that was our client, but we're becoming so close and intertwined in how we're working. We've been working with them for 8-10 years as a client to us, and now we are even joint running organizations together. So we've even in setting up units and organizations that were joint running for mutual partnership, and that's super exciting as well. That's very exciting, a very commercial partnership, but it's working as well. So values, very key.
No, that's very good. So I think I will speak on behalf of Empower and YAS, of course, and I say that these two organizations will continue to seek for partners.
Yeah.
So if you're out there and you feel like the area that you can add value, you can always reach out to the organizations and try to see how we can work together. If I can also summarize what you have explained very well, I think before you start moving towards looking for a partner, I think it's better to understand what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, understand this potential partner strengths and weaknesses as well, and see how your strengths mitigate their weaknesses and vice versa. I think that's how you create value. That's basically what you were saying. So it has to be also what are you bringing to the table and what you're going to get. I think that way it will be two ways and it will be sustainable, right?
If I can add on to that, so YAS has always been super open to partnerships. I think you've even done before public calls for partnerships.
Right.
But as I said, it's important anyone approaching you, they should know that they're bringing something to YAS as well. It's not just, hey, you're a large corporate, invest in us. So I hope you get some good partnership requests from me.
I hope so as well.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about still in the same spirit of partnerships. One partnership that is has been misconcepted a lot as one-way partnership is investor towards SMEs and startups. I know we have a lot of SMEs and startups watching us right now. How do they position themselves for a readiness of an investor to come in and take them to the next step?
Okay. I'll publicly say I've never managed to secure an investment myself. But luckily I've not needed to. But I'll talk about how can you secure investment or how can you get credit, because I think both are forms of capital injection, right? So I think it all stems to strong management, governance, but also good control of the organization. I think for a lot of SMEs, the financial unit, some people run their business as if it's them. So you receive money in the business and then they go remove money from the company bank account to pay personal rent or buy something that for you, and vice versa. You make money here, put it here, and then it becomes that it's all merged together. With this type of system, I'm just giving an example of try run your operation in a way that if an external party, whether it's a bank or an investor, was coming to look at it, things would be clear and would make sense. No one's going to give you money, but they can see in the bank account you're at Shoppers Plaza, then you're at Wavuvi Camp, and then you're here, and then you're expecting them to either give you a loan or put investment. So run your organization financially properly, pay yourself a salary or pay yourself dividends officially, of course, taxing, paying all the relevant tax as well. So I think this financial management is key and can really unlock being able to get investment first. It's almost a prerequisite. Then I think the second part is having an actual unique proposition. Someone has to be able to look at your business and see that this business has a USP, unique selling point, as opposed to saying, I've cut a deal with the procurement manager. I'm gonna get this deal, and we're gonna make a lot of money on this one project. That's not a business. That's a deal. And it's hard to get investment or credit with such a structure. So I think I was just trying to touch. I could keep going, but
very interesting. So I think mainly probably two things. I think one is have something unique to position to the market. So whoever the investor is, they'll look at it and say, yes, I know, I put my amount here, and then we're going to get it. Or if it's a bank, for example, looking to give you a loan, they can see exactly what you're putting out there, and so they know that you can get something and be able to still financially sustain yourself. That's the first thing. I think the other thing that you spoke about is SMEs or startups to be able to keep their books clean, record their expenses well, and keep basically their books. And for that, if you can allow me to talk about mainly two things that we also offer. So if you're an SME and a startup out there, you can reach out to our Mixed by YAS team. They have some very good corporate financial platforms where you can use to either collect or to disburse your amount, and with that way you can continue to get your reports, so that always these transactions are kept there. But you can also get our product that we call the Jasiriamali box.
Yeah.
It's basically is a box for SMEs or Jasiriamali that has different solutions for them. This has connectivity, the thing that we do yes for a living, connectivity, CG. But on top of that, you can also get platforms to digitize your operation. One of the platform is actually a POS application where you can be able to keep your stock, track your expenses, your costs, and that way I believe you have this information, you can get your books clean and get something like that, right?
Yeah, so there you go. There are tools out there, and I believe even anyone who registers with your Jasiriamali box, you get the free, you get this financial software included, which can keep your books clean. So there are tools out there and opportunities. I think people need to actually take those things seriously. If you want to grow, you've got to structure yourself in a way where someone can come, feel safe, invest, whether it's a bank or an investor, and tools like that can help them.
Thank you. So I think one more thing that we can talk about is at what point do you now take the next step? Because I believe there could be a lot of times where you could be safe as Empower and feel like this is it. At what point where you say, at this point you're going to take a next step, you're going to grow further as a business? Yeah.
All the time.
Everything.
Always taking the next step, all the time. So that's my personal belief, but I'm constantly pushing. For me, even if we've done the same service last month and then another client comes for a new service, we will sit as a team and discuss how we're improving the service from last. And then next month we will improve again. That's just on a service. But also equally, always looking for how do we expand our product base, what services we provide generally, how do we move to new markets. There's so many different ways to grow. So I believe those steps it doesn't stop. It's too competitive out there, Norman. Right. For you to say, I've taken a step, let me wait here. By the time you're making your next step, there are people who were 10 steps behind, now they're 10 steps ahead. Okay. Keep moving, every day a step. And steps don't have to be huge. I think people confuse strategy. They think strategy has to be nikipanga mkakati ni some big thing, lazima nitengeneze app, lazima niweke hela, do this big thing, niweke ofisi kubwa. Those are not strategies. The strategy is day to day to day. It's small, very realistic steps that you take. Just the small changes that you make, you'll be surprised over time how far they take you.
Okay. Yeah. So I think we've spoken about one like a strategic mistake. I know you personally and Empower as an organization, you have helped a lot of organizations, small, large, create strategies. What are some of the biggest mistakes that people or organizations do with creating their strategies?
Yeah. So one of the biggest we see is strategy is made in a secret room somewhere in the organization. A small group of people sit, decide on a strategy, and then they make a nice document, and then it gets filed. No one in the organization is aware of that strategy or how it's relevant to them, and it doesn't make its way into the way the organizations work. So based on all of this, we recently actually at the Project Management Week, we launched for the first time a framework we've built, which we're calling Empower's Theory of Transformation. But the theory, if I put it loosely, is you have strategy in the middle. Your strategy is constantly changing, and you must constantly align your people, process, and position to be in line with your strategy. So if I give an example of process, you find an organization's strategy is to be customer-centric. We want to be customer-obsessed. But you come into the process, you look at the structure of the organization, you see a customer service manager is reporting to operations manager, is reporting to chief operations officer, etc. You find that customer service manager actually can't deliver customer service. They report someone who is more interested in IT, admin, and the customer service is seen as a side thing. These are things that even with the best strategy, you don't fix those elements. And it's the same with the people and position. You don't align them. You can find that those 3 Ps can block you out from delivering your strategy. So strategy is an idea, but how do you bring that to life, and there's a lot to that. Communication, making small changes, making sure nothing is a barrier to the strategy. Yeah.
So how does that? I was thinking about that in the context of the largest organizations, or maybe the medium organization. How does that relate to very, very small organization? Yeah. You have 2 or 3 people.
No. This model and way of thinking, we go back to what I said. Let's not. If you want to grow, start to think at the level. If those global companies are thinking in this way, they have 100, 200 years experience until they've got to this point to think that way. Take that as a learning quickly, and of course scale it down to what you can do and what works for you. But same principles. Can you run your SME with the same principles? Have clear structure, have a strategy, have a unique selling point. Make sure you're training your people within people. Make sure there's a good culture in the organization. Position your organization. Be unique. One thing I see so much here, like, in fact, we're lucky. We often hear that we all need to be entrepreneurs. When I take a look at East Africa, Tanzania, I already feel like, wow, almost everyone's an entrepreneur. I mean, you try sell your car. By the time you're selling it, utakuta kuna dalali 8 pale. Kila mtu yemo in dalali economy now. Everyone can help you connect to this. This is great. This is good. Right now we're made of entrepreneurs here. So I think the next stage, everyone already has the mindset. I'm positive when I look at young people. I really see a positive trend in that area. So I think now the next step, now that we've all got that mindset, we all need to be a little bit unique. That's the position. Like, can we be a bit different? What can you do different? Because now you can see the evolution of Sinza. You go on Sinza, but then you can see almost the same business 10 times on the road. How can we be a bit more unique and innovate a little bit? So I think that's the next step.
Yeah, so interesting. But I think that takes me to one very, very interesting topic, which is technology. Now, it's very good that we are in that position. We're very lucky to be in an economy where people are trying to get a lot more engaged, a lot more being a lot more relatable to what is going on. And what part does technology play? To that, to make us unique, as you say, or to open up to future opportunities?
Yeah, I think technology as a tool is good for the majority of us. Some people use technology as a product, and maybe sometimes we all think to use technology, it must be technology as a product, but I believe technology as a tool is more relevant to the majority of us. So we should take advantage of things like AI right now. Push, in our organization, we openly push, use it if you can, to help you, not to do the work for you, but to help you. And that's the key. So I think technology can be used as a tool, but also it's not technology as the answer, is what I'm trying to say. Don't blindly use tools like AI and other tools without actually understanding and doing your own thought process as well. So I think it can help you, it can go against you, but if used correctly, it's a big help.
So my last question in this context will be, so looking at where a lot of organizations are now, big and small, where do you think this market, and talk about any industry, will be in the next 5 years? What will be the type of the customers or partners out there, and how does an SME or a startup position itself to get to that point?
Man, I'm so excited about the future, especially East Africa. I'm going to talk East Africa. I'm so excited about the future of East Africa as a whole. You take a look at the projects ongoing, the large infrastructural projects, whether it's railways, whether it's port adjustments. There's so much going on, and it's in all areas, in sports, in music. Our music is on the global stage. It's in entertainment. It's everywhere. It's in a digital space. We're leading in mobile money globally. We have our niche here. We have something in minerals where we're at the top. Everywhere you look, in every industry, all eyes are facing to East Africa. The way I see, I don't know, I can see us like Wakanda in 10 years.
Good. Asking you a few quick fire questions. Try to gather your thoughts on a few things. So the first thing is, if the consulting firms were a person, how would you describe them at a party?
We're definitely not the one paying for all the drinks,
Okay.
but we're on the table.
Okay.
We're that one.
Okay.
We're with the big dogs buying the drinks, but we're not buying.
That's very interesting. Okay. Another question would be, if you have to run a business without internet for a year,
Yeah.
what type of business will be, and how do you think that will go?
Easy.
Yeah.
I'm feeding the nation. I'll go to start a farm, go into agriculture. I know I might need internet somewhere here or there to access markets, but I'll find a way.
I'm going to take that.
Yeah.
Okay. Another one would be, if you have a TED Talk tomorrow, no slides, no preparations, what topic are you going to talk about and why?
Yeah, interesting. I'll go on to a topic actually that we talked earlier, the future of East Africa, potential. I haven't shared much here, but yeah, I think there's so much to talk about there.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last one, for our viewers to get something from, what book are you reading right now?
Yeah.
What can we learn from it?
Yeah. I have a bad habit. I read like 10 books at the same time and never finish any of them. But one of the books that is now currently open is Blue Ocean Strategy. I'm reading that at the moment, about halfway through. Very interesting. At the same time, I'm also reading, is it The 7 Principles of an Effective Family? Yeah.
That's very good. So Joshua, thank you so much for being a very, very good guest.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed our conversation.
Absolutely.
Our viewers have enjoyed our conversation. Anything that you want to tell them?
Yeah, I think speaking to Generation Yas, wishing you all the best. You've got all the skills, you've got everything, the opportunity is there, the skills are there, the connectivity is there. It's just you and making it happen. So go out there and be yourself. Thank you.
I guess you have it. Anzia ulipo. That's how we're going to close it. Bye.